Emily! Elijah! Elijah! Ask to see my sister Emily.
Hey, but look, they conjure.
Oh, God. The woods! Emily!
She's done for.
Not yet. You wake my father. Summon the elders. Go!
There's a whole montage of me back when we were in Salem running through forest. It was so thick you couldn't move, and I was running full speed through this, and this cross got caught on something and tore, and it was like in the forest, so they couldn't find it. And the prop guy was just going, oh man, it was like a nightmare. So he broke 2 twigs off of a tree and he glued them on together like that. So at the beginning of the movie, like, it's a real neat cross, and then later on in the movie, it's like it's all jacked. It's a twig. There's like a big ball of glue holding it together.
This is Winifred's book. And we have 3 different books, and this is the one with just the eye. Now this is the skin of human people. And we have on the binding, it's held by fingers. This is a practical book. This is a book that has all the spells in it.
We would have these meetings where we talked about Winifred with Bet. We would physicalize her.
I spent a lot of time just trying to figure out what she was going to look like. I thought because she was so very vain, she had serious makeup, which was very white except for 2 little cheeks, and then like a little rosebud mouth. That was important because I wanted her to have teeth, because basically she was a flesh eater, but it also gave her a very kind of cuckoo appearance. And the hair I took from Elizabeth I of England. As far as the hair and the actual face, that was the first time that I ever really said, no, this is it. This is how it's going to be.
This is terribly uncomfortable.
Oh, did I leave the cauldron burning?
I don't know.
Would you mind just running in and checking the cauldron?
Evil woman.
Has no heart! You're right, I'm wrong.
We saw 600 young boys, and Omri had come in and had been dismissed at one point. But I really liked him, and I didn't think that we really gave him a fair shot, and it was like the 11th hour. We were days away from going into rehearsal, and someone said, why don't you bring Omri back?
They just said I didn't get it, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call saying they want to see me again.
We brought Omri back. I said, great, cast him.
They called me again, and that's when I found out I got it. They didn't tell me at first. It was a surprise.
And we started rehearsals, I think, the next day.
They sent me a script, and I read the script, and I liked the script, and they said, Kenny Ortega wants to meet you.
I think we saw probably 10 or 12 of the top working young actresses, and Dora came in, and I was late for the meeting. She was sitting back in a chair with her feet up on the table, and as I walked in, she quickly moved her feet and sat up. And I said, oh, that's okay, make yourself at home. And she said, well, great. She said, do you want to talk about the business or other things? And I said, other things, you know, and she just took over the whole meeting. And I was in love by the time she left.
It was great, you know, they're like, I want you, and they're like, dude, okay.
Who would she rather go on a date with? Who would you rather, Goofy, Dumbo,
Goofy.
or the Roadrunner?
Goofy. Roadrunner.
All right.
She blabs her fat mouth about my personal stuff, and I'm supposed to take her trick-or-treating? Forget it, Dad.
Oh, okay. We'll forget it. Since you're not big enough to show your little sister a good time, I guess you're probably not big enough to get your driver's permit this year.
Oh, unfair. Totally unfair.
Life is give and take, Max. It isn't always fair. Look at this place. It's a paradise. Come on. That's what we've given them, a paradise. No earthquakes, no smog.
Yeah, no mudslides.
That's right. The only thing we have to worry about here is witches.
Witches. Witches, that's funny.
Come on.
Should have punched him.
It would have killed me.
He used to have died like a man.
Hey! You just humiliated me in front of half the guys at school. So collect your candy and get out of my life.
I want to go home now.
Allison, I think, was the least defined character going into production. And so therefore, everybody had a different take on who she was. At the end of the day, Vanessa Shaw came in with enough of the right stuff.
7 o'clock the night before they were starting rehearsals, they decided to hire me. So it was very, very, very last minute. My mom and I were jumping in the parking lot, and people were looking at us in the cars saying, "What's wrong with them?" I like Allison a lot because she's very strong. Take a hike! And when girls watch this, they'll probably say, "Oh, I wish I was her," because she's a very outspoken and very strong person. She'll probably be an inspiration for most girls because she's comfortable with herself and she loves being herself.
The most beautiful set, the most beautiful house that the witches lived in.
Bill Sandell said, "I hear that you might be doing this film, Hocus Pocus. I've known about it for 5 years. I'm a Halloween freak," which I already knew. And he said, please do it, and please pick me."
After, studying the architecture of what actually went on in Salem, we felt that we could then extrapolate.
Once the house started going up, all of us would take little visits, and Bet would ask for a little something, or Kathy would ask for a little something. And so it reflects sort of their needs and my needs and Bill's fantasies. And we spent 5 weeks there, and I could have spent another 5 and still not have shot it all. That's the wonderful thing about Bill, so many levels to his work.
It's a real house. No, there's no doubt about it. You could take that house and stick it on a hill somewhere and live in it, which I'd love to do.
Whoa.
Here's the original hocus. And upstairs is where they slept. And pushing them along, and flying. Oh, and be careful when you're done.
This is the spell book of Winifred Sanderson. It was given to her by the devil himself. The book is bound in human skin and contains the recipes for her most powerful and evil spells.
I get the picture. Max, I'm not kidding this time. It's time to go. Max, no!
Uh-oh.
We'll do one Who'd You Rather. Macaulay Culkin, Elijah what?
Elijah
Wood, or Luke Perry.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Okay, you're turning into Jell-O. You're turning into pudding.
I pick 2.
One right now. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Elijah.
Action. If you could travel a little with them, it would be great.
You! There! Mom! My name's Winifred Sanderson.
And this is my stupid...
This is my stupid sister. Hello. Goodbye.
Cut. Great.
Sarah Sanderson is very odd. She is truly the most peculiar character I've ever played.
Sarah was developed more on her feet.
She's very seductive, and she's completely unedited. Farewell! Maybe next time! And she's just awful, and I just love her. Winifred, Sarah, and Mary have 3 different fathers, and my father was the village idiot, but we all have a mother who we adore. Mother! And that's the only thing that is common among us.
My book!
I started to do the research of, well, how are we going to make a talking cat here? My initial reaction was, this can't be done.
I don't think I knew enough to know that we could do it, that we could pull it off.
What we did was we turned to computer.
A lot of films have used computer graphics, but this is the first one that's used computer graphics for character animation. This is the first time it's been done.
Come on, move it!
We're working on a process that's very up-to-date, very much groundbreaking.
I mean, the next step could be, for a science fiction movie, you can have completely computer-generated creatures, but he would actually look photoreal, he would fit into the scene, he would be lit like the real characters are lit.
Because of me, my little sister's life was stolen. For years, I waited for my life to end, so I could be reunited with my family. But Winifred's curse of immortality kept me alive. Then one day, I figured out what to do with my eternal life. Now, I'd failed Emily, but I wouldn't fail again. When Winifred and her sisters returned, I'd be there to stop them. So for 3 centuries, I guarded the house on All Hallows Night, when I knew some airhead virgin might light that candle.
Tony Gardner. He designed Billy the Butcher, and it was just a really exciting experience to watch Billy grow.
There's a few sequences where Billy gets his head knocked off, and what it is there's an actress named Karen Malkus. When he loses his head, she actually loses it, she puts it back on, and then we cut to Doug finishing the action.
Yeah. See you on set.
Oh, damn that fuckery pigs! Damn him! Billy, which way do they go? Billy, listen to me. Follow those children, you maggot museum, and get my book. Then come find us. We'll be ready for them. Quit staring at me! Get moving! Down that hole! Down, down, double down! No!
Ladies, this is a magic bus, but I do need a token or its financial equivalent. Por favor.
Perhaps you would care for a small token of my affection.
My function in the trio is that I sniff out the kids. We made the decision to make her half hound dog.
I smell children, but I don't see children.
Which is really great because I get to do, stuff like this, and I get to go and bark and, do all those funny dog things.
I worked with Bette on beaches, so I always like her to sing Wind Beneath My Wings in her witch outfit. That's what I ask her to do each day. I got to dance with Sarah Jessica Parker, and she's a very sweet girl, and we did 11 takes. So I got to hold her like this for 11 takes. That's worth coming to work for.
My broom! My broom! My broom!
Purloined. Curses!
Sisters, look! It's the chocolate-covered finger of a man named Clark. It's candy. Why would the master give us candy?
Because he is not our master.
He isn't?
And these are not hobgoblins.
Oh!
See?
Oh.
Cool it, man!
A child! Oh!
Weirdos! Weirdos!
Sisters!
What is this place?
It reeks of children.
It is a prison for children.
Oh!
Welcome to high school hell. I'm your host, Boris Karloff Jr. It's time to meet our 3 contestants.
Sarah, Mary, and Winifred Sanderson.
Read any good spell books lately?
Kenny comes from choreography, so his directing is always staged, whether it's the actors moving or the camera moving.
For those 3 witches, it is about movement. And there's a lot of timing involved. We did a lot of counting. We did things on the beat. And people don't usually do that in films. Most people are very naturalistic in their behavior, but he didn't want naturalism. He wanted it to be very stylish. So he was counting behind the camera, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn on 5, and step, 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 walk, beat, make a gesture.
Boom. Shot.
It was all very dance-oriented.
Kathy and Sarah are big Bet fans. You know, so there was a lot of fan worship on the set.
Kathy Najimy, she was a big fan of mine. First time she came on the set, she showed me these pictures of her as a teenager, ringing my doorbell in New York City and leaving me notes about wanting to become a performer.
Mary, she's a big kiss-ass, first of all, which was great because I got to take the nervousness that I had for standing next to Bette Midler and really just sort of magnify it and make it funny.
90% of the flying in this film is the actual actress.
Into the night! I had never flown before. I thought it was going to be really easy, but it wasn't easy. It hurt like hell.
I love to fly. I love it. And not everybody feels the same way, but I could hang in my harness for hours and no one seems to understand it. I read a whole script hanging in my harness the other day. I hate when they send me home from flying.
It was very, very hard because you had to hold on to that broom and make all these gestures and carry on and act at the same time. It was really tough.
It's over there.
It's over where? It's over there!
No, to your left, Maura. There you go.
We're about to fly. Every time we fly, it's really great, except for when they ran Sarah into a tree once. Did she bring that up?
Sometimes when a cat is trained for something, like bat a face, it still remembers that. And so one time I opened the book and he goes, well, don't. Nothing good could come from this book. And he's like swatting at our face and we just have to not laugh.
We've had 2 of these cats for several years. The other 6 cats we got from the dog pound, and they do very specific things to help out our 2 principal cats. Some of them run, some of them are nice, quiet, holding cats.
Ready for some cat training? I taught him myself.
Some of them are brilliant, and they do the genius things. From time to time, we'll even use 3-4 cats in a particular scene.
Started off with the idea that we wanted to have a sort of female Three Stooges. Enough, 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 enough.
It was great fun to watch this sort of tornado happen when they were in a room together. I mean, the energy was incredible.
They beat each other up and they called each other names, and we wanted to have sort of that dynamic because you don't really get to see that among women.
Step on it, Max!
Are they following us?
No.
Good.
Pull over! Let me see your driver's perk. Resisting arrest!
For the sequences where his stitches are cut, we actually have a mouth insert that goes into his mouth that has 2 reservoirs in it. One holds dust and dirt, and the other holds 3 live moths. Doug really enjoyed testing this particular piece of machinery.
So you want to be an actor? Here, shove some insects in your mouth.
It's like, have you ever had a dental impression done before? It's like wearing one of those all the time and having it flip on your tongue. They put the moths in, and they go in your mouth.
Action! Cut. Yeah!
The witches are dead. My soul's finally free. You freed me, Danny. Thank you. Hey, Max. Thanks for lighting the candle.
Thackeray! Thackeray Binks!
It's Emily.
HBO, Showtime, Disney. Disney, oh, Disney.
Are they gonna play it on regular TV?
That bucktooth. No, I won't go into it now. We had a relationship. We tried to work things out. We went to counseling. I gave, she took. That's where it ended. I think the part where she poisoned me, too, it went downhill from there.
Who would you rather? Doogie Howser, Patrick Swayze, Simon Fenton.
Oh my God, those two are so hard. Neil.
Kathy Jiminy. She's very good. I have worked with her, and she's the best.
After she poisoned me, she stitched my mouth shut so that I wouldn't tell her secrets in the afterlife. Which?
Who would you rather? Madonna? Cindy Crawford? Or Paula Abdul?
No.
Paula Abdul, Cindy Crawford, or Madonna?
Paula's married.
No, probably Madonna.
Yeah, dude!
Al Pacino, Nick Nolte, or Kenny Ortega.
Every day is a bad hair day.
So I got to work with my sister. We haven't worked together acting since The Odd Couple.
Margaret's trying out a new color on me because I'm really a winter, and I've been wearing all these summer colors.
Knock, knock.
This is a heck of a costume. We don't say hell. The devil never says hell.
I'm a nice guy. Zombie, dead peasant, whatever. People do seem to be running a bit lately, though. And doing a lot of this. I don't know what it's all about.
I think it should be boom, so that you really get like a, Star Wars things.
Sure.
Here's a camera.
So, Hero?
Nice looking guy.
What I
With
thought
that dandruff.
would be in tighter. Go up with him a little bit on Vista, please.
Ta-da! Well, I always used to say I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached. But now it isn't.
You're a wonderful director.
Thank you.
I would go to hell for you. It's bizarre, but weird and wonderful. Hocus pocus.
From Walt Disney Home Video, the Sanderson witches are flying into town. And now everyone's in for a real treat.
Greedy little beggar.
Winnie's the wickedest.
Hello.
Sarah's the sexiest.
Will thou dance with me?
And Mary's the hungriest.
No time for snacking.
They're here to have some fun and practice a little witchcraft. If they could only get it right.
She did it.
Hocus Pocus on video cassette.